Hey guys, it's Tessa. So today, first of all, I meant to start filming this video like a week and a half ago, but kept forgetting, and then by the time I remember, I'd already moved farther into the project. But as you can tell from the title, I'm finally making a project for me. Although I might make a pattern so you can do different variations of this, but today I am working on making a hexagon cardigan for myself, and it's going to be in the Monster High Draculaura colors, so black and shades of pink. I've already gotten a decent amount of it done, but let me kind of show you where we're at because we're running into issues now. To start, I'm using 5 different colors. We're using black, of course, and then I'm using 4 different shades of pink. This kind of pink here doesn't really fit into it, but I wanted 4 shades instead of 3 because I thought it looked a little bit better, but it works. So, unlike a normal hexie cardigan, I'm not doing it the granny style. Instead, I'm doing it just kind of normal style. That's not what it is. But basically, instead of doing it granny style, I'm going into each stitch and I'm not skipping any. So here's kind of what you can see from it so far. Each section is done a certain way. So instead of doing that granny style, I will double crochet across for 2 rows. Then I'll do a row where I'm double crocheting, chaining 1 and continuing around. But all of the solid rows are black, and then all of those skipping rows are different shades of pink. This panel's almost done. I need to do the cuff still, and I think I want to do at least one more color, one more set of the pink. I measured it out, and I want this to be a little bit oversized. And I think currently it's measuring 24 inches. I'm also going to have a 6-inch panel in the back. I'll show you that in a second. But with that, it would only make it, I think, 52 inches, 54 inches. And I want it a little bit bigger than that. So I'm going to do another set, I think, of 1 or 2 shades of pink. I'm not sure yet. But that middle panel I was talking about, I don't like the way a lot of hexacardigans kind of just come to a point in the back. I feel like it really irritates me for some reason. Or I'm hypersensitive or hyper pay attention to it. I don't know. So this is the panel I'm going to insert. I think I'm doing 4 of these squares. And the only change I'm going to make, you can kind of see, the only change I'm going to make here is I'm going to start each one with a different shade of pink and go into the sequence. But yeah, just so there's a little bit of difference there. So this is the first square. Based on the amount I have of each color left, I should be able to get through 4 squares. If not, we'll figure it out. I think I'm going to try 3 squares at first, especially once I can gauge how many stitches I'll have for the back panel up and down. I'll be able to figure out how many of these squares I'll need to make anyway. So I'll either keep this sequence or switch back and forth between darker shades going outward to the lighter shades, or this way, the lighter going to the darker, either one. But yeah, the problem we have run into is I started this entire panel using some of the Pound of Love black shade, whatever, I think it's black or coal or something like that. And I have officially run out of it. Or I have just enough, I think, to finish like the cuff on this sleeve. But really the reason why that's a problem here is even though it's also a weight 4 worsted, it's a little bit on the thinner side. So you can kind of see here, it's a little bit thin. The big twist, which is what we'll be using as well. You can see this one's the big twist and this one's that Pound of Love. So the big twist is a little bit thicker, like really not by much. So I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. But I'm slightly worried about that and what that's gonna really mean here. But that is where I am at. I'm really excited to finish this, honestly. I'm stoked. Pink's like one of my favorite colors. I just like it as an accent a lot of the time. And this is perfect for that, I think. I've already started thinking of the ways to make like the Frankie one or the Cleopatra one or all of those. So I think I'm just going to digitize those for myself so I have them written somewhere. I have like a little Excel sheet that I use for all of my colorwork patterns so that I can just note the colorwork and how it's done there, and I don't really have to do anything else with it, and I can go there to find it later. But that is the plan. Or I guess I didn't really tell you the plan. Plan is do the 2 more sets of the pink and for this row. Figure out what the total size is. I think I'm aiming for closer to like 68 inches in total all the way around. Maybe even larger. I really don't care. I'm also just trying to get through some of my stash as well, because you'll see up in that orange section, that's a little more full than it should be. That section's also a little more full than it should be. And then if I show you really the big problem, I did not have nearly as much blues and purples or greens as the last time you saw me. I went to Michael's because I was planning to just grab a couple balls of yarn, but then they had their like buy one get one half off, or like buy 2 get 2 half off, whatever that sale was a couple months ago or a couple weeks ago. And I bought like 16 balls of yarn, I think, or 14, and it was like 80 bucks. So I was like, what's the worst that could happen? But now my stash is full and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm gonna keep working on this, and we will check in once I figure out either the solution for these or if this becomes the right size. And I'll see you soon. All right, so I ended up finishing the 4 squares. Oh, this lighting's terrible, but who cares? Ended up finishing the 4 squares. Each one is a little bit different from the last. I also did the math on the big piece. I can fit 3.5 squares. So what I'm gonna do is, I think, 3 repeats. It's gonna be a lot, but 3 repeats of this here. So 3 sections of the 2 rows double crochet, 1 row double crochet, chain 1, because that should give me enough stitches to be over the 4 squares by like a couple stitches, probably like 4 stitches, 2, 3, 4 stitches, by like 3 or 4 stitches, I think. And that's going to give me the increase I want as well on the total width of the project. So that is the plan. All 4 squares are completed. I'm waiting to weave all the ends in till the end because I love to torture myself. But I think that's all I'm going to do tonight. It's currently almost 8 p.m. and I'm tired. So I think that's all I'm going to do for this project tonight. I'm likely going to work on something else, but I'm not really sure. That is it for now, and I will check in again tomorrow. Alright, so it's been a little bit since I checked in, but that's honestly because I just haven't been doing a lot of crocheting recently. But I finally finished the first half of this cardigan, and then I also added the 4 squares we made as well for the center back section. So I miscalculated initially, but it worked out for us. So I think I said on like this section or this section, I only needed to add 2 more repeats of the whole pattern, and I'd be good to go on adding these back pieces. I realized I did not count the number of stitches I had in total on the front / back, since the only 2 corners are down here at the bottom. And so I took all those stitches, divided it in half to get my number. Wasn't the number I needed. There's 21 stitches on each side of these little 4 squares, so I needed at least 84 stitches to meet the halfway point for the cardigan. I ended up doing 85, which forced me to do an extra repeat, making us start with the lightest pink color and ending with the darkest pink color, so it worked out really nicely for the pattern. The sleeves are going to be very long, and a lot longer than I originally anticipated. I think I'm going to start doing cardigans in a different method from now on to alleviate that problem. Basically, so this one starts as, you know, a hexagon and so on, but there's one you can make where you start instead with a chain for your length, your total length, and then I think from there you just do like 4, do a normal like granny square, I think. So it'll create the 4 corners of the sleeve, so this corner, in this corner essentially, so it's 4 corners. And then I think instead of just going around and around, you start down here, work your way up, come around, and then go back down. So you should be ending at the bottom of each time. That may not make a lot of sense, but this YouTuber, Michelle something, I'll put her stuff here, her handle here, but she did this with one of the cardigans that they made. and it looks really nice. It looks a lot better than I think some of these Hexagon cardigans have come out. And then I'm also, because I hate myself, I'm gonna leave all of these ends for me to deal with at the very end, because I really don't want to deal with them now. So that's my plan. We've got the first half done, and I just need to complete the second half. I will check in once I either run out of yarn or have the second half done. I think I have enough of each of the pink colors no matter what. No matter what, I'm pretty sure I have enough. But I think I don't have enough black yarn. Like I mentioned, I think the majority of this is done in Red Heart, not Red Heart, Lion Brand Pound of Love. While I think one set of the black on this side and the black from like here over and on these squares is done in Big Twist Value Worsted in black. So there's a tiny bit of a size difference on the yarn, but I don't think it actually shows any real difference in the overall pattern. But we will find out when I finish this other side. All of that to say, current goal, finish the second half. Hopefully don't run out of black yarn, and if I do, run to the store, get more black yarn. Hopefully don't run out of pink yarn. And then, depending on how much pink yarn I have left over, after I do the cuffs for the sleeves, and possibly a ribbing on the bottom, I'm not really sure if I want to do that yet, then I will make pockets, I think. But that's it for now. I'll check in again soon. Hey guys, so it's been a hot minute again since I've checked in. I'm still working on the cardigan, but I think I am going to make this into 2 videos. One, because I'm still working on the second panel and it's been several weeks. And 2, I think when I go into the ribbing for the cuffs, the body, and the like waist ribbing, it's gonna be the biggest pain in the ass of my life. And I would love nothing more to show you all of that, but I don't want this video to be like 40 minutes long. So we are going to cut this video here. I hope you enjoy so far. That first panel is still as is. I'm working on currently the row right before I separate the sleeves and the body. And then from there I have 2 repeats of the pattern for the sleeve portion, and then finishing up to get to the dark purple or dark pink again on the body portion. And we will discuss all of that and more, including the ribbing, in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or you have any tips on making these hexy cardigans, I would love it greatly. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!